Get ready for Real Talk Radio. You're listening to the National Intel Report with your host, John Stadtmiller.
Let's go back to John in Florida. Hello. John's gone? Okay. Well, that solved that problem. Is this the same Kevin from Minnesota? Okay. Has he got his phone shut down? Okay, you checked on that. Kevin, you're back?
Yes, gentlemen, and I just apologize. I'm sorry. The whole time I'm on hold, not a single phone call, but of course, the minute that I get to...
It's Murphy's Law. It's okay. Move on, Kevin. What's on your mind today?
Well, happy belated, Mr. Chapman. I wanted to tell how I got hurt in the market last spring with what occurred, and then after trying to pull out of the market, I then was notified that there was just outrageous penalties for pulling out, and so I moved all my stuff into gold mining. And that brings me to my question for Mr. Chapman, is that if you being in the same similar situation, would you take the penalties, or would you sit down a little bit and see if you get a little bit of recovery?
Well, first of all, who is causing the penalties?
From what I was explained by my investor was that if I pulled my money from the market, it was like a 10-year plan that each year would be less of a penalty, and the closer to the 10 years, then there would be no penalty. And they gave me a guarantee 6% earnings on the investment, but now I'm at the halfway point, and I'm debating on taking the hit because I've almost come back to even of what I've lost on the penalties.
What a screwy plan.
How big is the hit?
I think it's about, I'd say between 7 and 10. I'd have to check on it for the official number.
$7,000 to $10,000.
Say again, sir.
And the hit would be between $7,000 and $10,000.
Oh, percentage of investment.
Well, how can that be when they're only guaranteeing you 6%?
Well, this is my challenge. I've tried to have my investor explain it to me in more layman's terms because I am not a guru.
Wait a minute. Who is this investor?
He's just my financial investor, private.
No.
A private gentleman.
I think you need to see an attorney, and I think this is a fraud, just in the face of what you've told me. And I would be to bring your contracts to the attorney and let him sort it out and find out what this guy's up to.
Okay, now, would you say that are there specific attorneys that deal basically with investment and economic attorneys?
There are attorneys who specialize in investment problems, and you would go to one of them, and they would take your complaint or case, so to speak, and they would go over it with you, and they would go over what contracts you have. You do have contracts, right?
Right. Well, yeah, this is what I was kind of worrying about, because every time I try to sit down in detail and have them explain to me, it's not making 100% sense at all. And every time
do you have a contract?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, take it to an attorney who specializes in investment contracts. Tell him what the problem is. He'll read your contract, and he'll tell you what your legal rights are.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and continue doing the great work.
All right, and
thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, one of these investment attorneys, if there are discrepancies, and they'll all play the same games. Non-disclosure of facts and details about your investments. They don't want when they start discussing large penalties, that says that they don't want you moving the money or moving away from that particular broker. So when you take this to an investment attorney,
That's correct.
the irregularities will jump out at the guy. He'll immediately finger this guy if he's trying to pull a fast one. And chances are just a lot of times just a letter from the attorney to that investment broker will shut him down. And you can be on your merry way with as much as you can get out of your investment through him.
What they're up to.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there. I mean, there are tons of them. Let me give you an example here. Cash for clubbers. Gentlemen, how about this one? That you can actually get a federal credit against your income tax to buy golf carts. Why? Well, because they're electrically powered. There's a golf cart boom that has followed an IRS ruling that golf carts qualify for electric car credits as long as they're also roadworthy. Now, we sometimes joke about this, but in Florida and retirement communities, it's nothing to see a retired person or their family in a golf cart going down the road. Okay, you gotta watch out because they don't move that quick. These qualifying golf carts are essentially the same as normal golf carts, save for the added safety features such as side and rear view mirrors and 3-point safety belts. But they are a hazard because they only go 15 to 25 miles an hour. But, as one guy put it, and this is the guy, a golf cart man, this guy, he says you can't blame a guy for exploiting loopholes that Congress offers. And he says this is a pretty good deal. Now, talking about unscrupulous people, what grabs me, you've seen these electric-powered wheelchairs for the elderly. Hey, don't worry about it. It won't cost you anything. You know, get a free hover-round or whatever the thing is. Well, that money comes from somebody. That comes out of your pocket. Folks, there ain't nothing free in this life, trust me.
Yeah, it's a big hit in Scottsdale.
Yeah, I bet it is. Well, wait for the golf carts.
Oh, they don't have to wait for them, brother.
Gosh,
We have more golf carts. We probably have more golf carts here than they have cars in Michigan.
George in Texas. Hello, George. George, you there?
How you doing, John?
Hi.
You know, the thing is, I was sort of like thinking, hearing this Lindsey Williams on another show, the thing is, it's like these elites are so delusional. Because one of the things he sat there and said that we're going to be so poor we won't be able to rebel. And, John, I think you mentioned this many times before. When you lost everything, you ain't got nothing left to lose.
Well, and unless you've cashed in your guns and your rounds and your storable food, if you notice, I haven't had Lindsey Williams on this program in over a year. And it's probably going to be a cold day in hell before I have him back.
Well, I haven't seen C. Quail on your show either, but that's another thing.
Yeah, well, what's that got to do with the price of mustard in Chicago right now?
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, these elites are so delusional, like I say, we're going to be sober poor in 2 years from now. We won't be able to rebel. And it's like, what?
Yeah, well, enough about Lindsey Williams. At any rate, anything else on your mind, George?
Yes, I got a telemarketer call from J.P. Morgan wanting me to go invest in the stock market. And I gave him a lesson using the creature from Jekyll Island. Tell about this Federal Reserve System. I told him not to participating in the suckers rally.
Why don't you get the book They Own It All and really educate these people?
Yeah, I mean, I sat there for 40 minutes educating him on the Federal Reserve, and I just said what you want from me is not really money. I said it's a debt slip, an IOU. Am I right?
Yeah. But I'll say again, get the book They Own It All, including you. That'll take you to the next level and the final level of the Federal Reserve game and actually what it has done to this country. You know, we've talked a lot of details here on the economy, jobs moving overseas, corporations cutting back to make their bottom line more attractive for stock investors out there. We've covered a lot of ground. But when you get right down to the nitty-gritty of this, there was a bankruptcy filed in 1933. We have been under that bankruptcy ever since, and that brought in a whole new set of rules of which these guys have been playing by, and they have not let us privy to. But this book does it. That's why you should be tuning in, my friend, on Mondays I don't know if you've been listening to the program or not, George, but it'll be well worth your time.
Well, you know, the thing is, guess what? I went to a county auction. I bought an old county truck. It has like 130,000 miles on it. And guess what they gave me when I bought the truck?
Don't tell me they actually gave you the manufacturer's origin certificate.
Yep.
They did.
Yeah, because all their plates have exempt on it.
Well, congratulations. You now own a truck with 130,000 miles on it, and it's really yours, and it doesn't belong to the state anymore.
Because, you know, because this is one of the things they leave out in plain sight. It's more like when you look at a state trooper car or a government vehicle, it says exempt on it. That means they have their manufacturer certificate of origin.
That's right.
That means they don't have to register or insure it.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you, George.